Alright, we got the brand new Arrma Fury and the not so brand new Traxxas Slash XL5 two-wheel drive. This is not the updated one, unfortunately. I bought this literally 20 hours before the heavy-duty version was released. So this one does still have the completely normal drive shafts and arms and hubs and everything. However, today will not be a durability test, so I'm not so certain it matters. It came with the same battery and charger you would still get from the updated heavy-duty version. But as you guys can see, they are not really similar, but they are. They're pretty much direct competition on the market, but the Traxxas is high CG, and the Fury is low CG. Fury has this spline style chassis. Obviously, Traxxas has their typical Slash two-wheel drive chassis that we all know. The Fury is a mid-motor brushed with a 14 turn. The Slash is a rear motor brushed 12 turn. The Slash has a classic tray style battery compartment, as the Arrma has kind of a more toy grade, I would argue, approach. Battery tray in the bottom with a clipping cover. Today for the test, I will be using two identical batteries, HOOVO 5200 mAh ADC 2S Lipos. Both are using an adapter from EC5 to their respective connectors, Traxxas, EC3 for the Fury. Let's start with the Traxxas battery. We're going to go ahead, take this little body clip out of there, move this tray open, take that out, move the antenna wire. I know I should probably be running an antenna tube, but my truck didn't come with one for some reason. Set that up with the higher. I'm gonna not throw the body on the floor. Trying to do all this one-handed. There you have it. Battery's in. I'm going to move it back for a little bit of a rearward weight distribution. And we're ready to go. Now for the Arrma, we actually don't even need the body off whatsoever, which I would argue is actually a pretty cool part of having this more toy grade battery box, is you kind of don't have to worry about it. I'm going to take this adapter out because I kind of put one in here, but this one gets plugged in and sits right inside. I'm not going to do that all one-handed, but you get the point. There we go, this one is plugged in, and we got to mess with this, that there, and boom, battery's in. All we need to do here is plug this in, like so. Boom, everything's plugged in. I've pushed everything under here just so it doesn't flap around. That's the problem with running adapters, is there's so much moving around up there. But both trucks are plugged in and ready to rip. I will say, putting the body on to the Traxxas is a much easier task. Clip, 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 and this one, hold on, body is on. The only problem with this system that I have is sometimes if it gets dirty, that latch won't clip in all the way. You have to kind of get your fingers up in there and press it in harder yourself. Let's get this one on. This one, I will say, is a little bit more difficult. You gotta move these clips up out of the way. I'm gonna try to line the body up in the little peg holes. Can be a little annoying at first. Once you get the hang of it, it's not bad, but I'm still trying to get used to it. Definitely easier with the Traxxas. But then we just push the little clips in, which I will not do. Alright, they are all ready. I'm gonna do a little eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, got the Traxxas out here first. This is very difficult to drive one-handed due to the Traxxas receiver or radio. I am sorry. This is really stretching my hand out here. I do not have a thumb steer yet. I want to get one. I want to make some content with this car. This is my first real YouTube video. Ouch. And we said we weren't durability testing it, right? My driving is going to be very flawed with this. But it drives like a two-wheel drive Slash, obviously. That's exactly what it is. Box stock. Very difficult to drive one-handed. Nice. Turning circle is not that bad. That is just my finger not being able to reach all the way. Messy. Really difficult here. On my fingers. Yep, I'm gonna do that. Go. Alright. Pretty sure you guys get the point. I'm gonna bring it on in. Bring out the Fury. Alright. Got the Fury going. This one is a lot easier to hold and drive one-handed. So, this one is gonna look prettier. I'll tell you that much. There we go. Totally did that intentionally, totally. But I figured it's fair because I did kind of wreck the Slash a few times. Some terrible driving on my part due to the small hands, small fingers, I guess. short thumb. And this one is a lot easier to drive one-handed. This one does have a little bit of body rubbing. I'm making it look good just because, I mean, I can do the exact same thing with the Slash, alright? Like I'm saying, it's just really hard to drive the Traxxas radio one-handed. Oops. This one does seem to land on its feet a little more. I figured that out yesterday when I unboxed it. I drove it twice, put 2 batteries through it. After driving the Slash for the past week. So I bought the Slash to compare to this for this video. So I drove the Slash for a while, tried to get used to two-wheel drive. These are my two first two-wheel drive cars. Never driven two-wheel drive before. I drove the Slash. So I kind of became a pro at it yesterday with this truck. But I'm loving it, honestly. This is a very fun class. I've got all the big Arrma Mojaves. Got the Sentin. I don't have any of the Traxxas vehicles. I may be biased towards the Arrma brand as a whole, but doesn't mean I dislike Traxxas. I am a huge fan of that Slash. I think it's a fun truck. Clipless body is so nice. This one I am gonna say I kind of wish Arrma stuck with body clips. Just because this design is a little more finicky. You kind of have to dig under that body to get to those little latch clip things. So I believe that their classic tethered body clip design would have been a little better, honestly. Traxxas kind of wins the clipless body argument for sure. Because this technically isn't even clipless, it still uses those clips. So I guess it just looks nice. But I think you guys get the point here. I don't want to drive it too much more than the Slash, just because I want it to be a fair comparison. Bring it in back. Alright, so all in all, put about probably half a battery pack through both of them today, for the sake of the video. I love them both. They are both really fun to drive. I think the Arrma with these tires hooks up a little bit better in the looser dirt, but these are the same tires that came on the Sentin, and the Sentin is pretty notorious for blowing tires. I don't think that's going to happen on a brushed setup or even the 2S setup, but they are pretty soft compound. I think these tires are going to last a little longer on the Slash. But overall, I really like them both. It's kind of hard to choose a favorite here. They're both a lot of fun. I think I might favor driving this one just a little more, just because the remote is a little more intuitive for reach. That one's kind of far away. I don't know. That's just for recording purposes anyway. But the tires do make a difference. Maybe I should do a video of swapping the tires. See if that affects it. But generally, I don't know if the mid-motor is going to hurt or help the Arrma. They both drive very similarly, regardless of the fact that the slash is in the back and the Arrma is like right there. So I'm not sure how that affects handling, but side by side, I think the only difference is the tires. And I do think due to the body design, the Arrma flies a little bit better. That one, I'm sure you guys saw in the running footage. The slash likes to kind of float a little more in the air. This one kind of stays flat for the most part, unless it's hyper windy, which it was yesterday. I couldn't keep that thing on the ground. Last thing I will note, it is really nice for the Arrma that the chassis is nice and thin. It doesn't collect any dirt, almost whatsoever. That's a current flip over. I haven't flipped that over yet. And the Traxxas, I know I had just flipped it over, so there's not much in there. So not really anything there, but either way, the tub chassis collects a little more dirt. That doesn't really matter, but it's just out there. I can't pick a favorite. They're both really cool looking. They both handle great. They're both fun, and they will both take 3S or 2S brushless power in the future. I think I may also do a video in the future of using the same hobby wing system in both trucks, just for comparison's sake. It's going to be a 4000 kV brushless with a 3652 motor. 2S, I'm only going to run 2S on them, just for the sake of them being two-wheel drive. I'm not a fan of super high power two-wheel drive. I don't think I would be, because this is kind of a handful as is on brushed. But once you get used to it, it's a blast. So that's going to conclude it. I can't pick a favorite. Leave it in the comments. You think I'm biased? You like one or the other better? Let me know. Thanks for watching.